There are so many misconceptions when it comes to bipolar disorder. The biggest one is that it just means we go from happy to sad at the drop of a hat. That couldn't be farther from the truth. So what does bipolar disorder feel like? As opposed to leaving you with a list of symptoms, I'm going to be describing what it feels like, at least for me, during depressive and manic episodes, and those episodes in between. If you don't know me, my name is Angela, creator of The Mental Refuge. In January of 2017, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and it is my mission to help others with a mental illness feel less alone. I know how lonely it can be, and I want you to find a refuge here. While I'm not a licensed therapist, I want to provide videos that are helpful for our mental health, whether you have a mental illness or not. Before we get started, I wanted to tell you guys about Patreon. Patreon is a way for you to contribute each month so I can have the resources and the time to get more videos out to you as often as possible. Starting at just $5 a month, you can make a difference in the life of someone with a mental illness. Also, while you're at it, it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification bell so you know first when new videos are released. Now, let's get started. First, let's start with manic or hypomanic episodes. These are times when we are up. It's more than just a feeling of happiness. It's a feeling of euphoria. It's a feeling that we can't do anything wrong or our actions are always justified in the moment. For me, before I was medicated, it meant that I would wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, wide awake, just to throw out all of my old makeup and organize my cabinets. A lot of times it feels like we can't shut off our brain. There's a million different thoughts that are racing through our mind. So for me, since my mind was always racing in these moments, that's why I would wake up in the middle of the night to do a seemingly unimportant task. It just couldn't wait a few more hours. I had to get it done right that moment. It felt like my brain were about to burst and I couldn't contain it anymore. During manic or hypomanic episodes, we can also feel like our minds are racing a mile a minute. These are the times where we're thinking of what seems like 100 different things at once, and our thoughts can take over us. You may have thoughts such as, when do I wash my dog? Do I need to get a fence? Maybe I can install one myself. Yeah, I'll do that myself. What should we eat for dinner? My car was making a funny sound earlier. When do I get my oil changed? What color should I paint my room? How will I decorate it? Should I use real or artificial plants? For some of us, it's having thoughts like that, one after another after another. And for others like myself, it's having all of these thoughts at the same time. It can really make your head spin. We can also feel pressured speech. We might feel flustered at the thought of words. We might interrupt people more, and we might talk endlessly to anyone that will pay attention to us. A lot of times in therapy sessions, we'll just talk and talk and talk with our therapist barely being able to ask us another question. And if our mind is racing, you can see why we would have pressured speech. It's like we have to have all of the information that's in our minds and get it out of us somehow. We can also feel very creative when we're manic or hypomanic. Artists may stay up all night long creating beautiful works of art. A bunch of us will get this great idea of a new business that we can create. We might think that we can open up a store or a bakery, or we'll do anything to make this happen. A lot of people with bipolar disorder spend large amounts of money when manic or hypomanic at the drop of a hat. So we can take this business idea and run with it. This is not a good idea because in just a few weeks or months when we start to crash into a depression, we can start to think to ourselves, what have I done? I can't keep up with this. We can also feel like we're destined for greatness. Like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and get 100,000 subscribers in just a few months. Another feeling during mania is the feeling like our skin is crawling. Before I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and before I was medicated, it felt like the skin on my legs was crawling. I remember being at home on my lunch break one day. I was wearing jeans and I started digging my nails through my thighs to get some sort of relief. I just couldn't shake the feeling that my skin was crawling. So I did the only thing that I could think to do, and I dug into my legs. You guys, later on that day, I took off my jeans and my legs had bright red streaks down them. Like my nails really went through my jeans to leave those marks. Now let's talk about the depression side of bipolar disorder. Depression is not just feeling sad or down about something. It is dark and it is deep. Depression feels heavy. It feels like there's an extra 100 pounds sitting on my shoulders, or it feels like there's a car sitting on top of me. Not that it's painful, but that it's just this huge weight on top of me and I can't move. The only thing I can do is lie in bed. It feels like I can't do anything right. I recently discovered this website called blurtitout.org. Blurt It Out is a website whose goal is to raise awareness and understanding of depression. They have a really great article about what depression feels like. They asked readers to describe what depression felt like in their own words. So I'm going to read some of them off to you. One person said, "Depression feels like the worst day of your life every single day. It feels like everything's falling apart and worthless, even if it's not. A distance between you and the world. You cannot see any tangible future, so there's a feeling of hopelessness. Being surrounded by people that love you and say they want to help, yet feeling terrifyingly alone and lost. Depression means nothing is ever going to be right because I am always wrong, whatever I do or think or I am. You're just drowning in the dark that's your own mind. It feels like a black rain cloud following you around constantly. Whenever you try to escape, it just pours rain on you to remind you that it will never leave and never let you escape and be happy." J.K. Rowling has it right. The Dementors are such a great image. It's like a creature sucking out the best and the happy memories while telling you that you're garbage and making you relive the bad. It then uses the bad as an attack against your self-esteem to make you believe you don't deserve better. Eventually, you just become numb and disconnected. And going off of that last comment, a lot of us with depression feel numbness. Nothing is happy or sad. Everything is just numb. How would I describe it? Depression feels like we're walking around in a big layer of tar, or that we're in quicksand in the sense that everything is an effort. Even taking a shower can seem like a monumental task. And that brings me to my next point. Self-care is almost impossible. A bunch of us with depression find it difficult to take a shower and get ready for the day. Sometimes we'll go days or worse, even weeks without taking a shower. It's just too difficult of a task to even think about. Just thinking about it is exhausting. We oftentimes lack the desire to take care of ourselves because frankly, we just don't care enough about ourselves. I know in my own personal life, I once avoided the dentist for 2 years because I didn't want to take care of my teeth. I didn't care if they fell out because what's the point? I just didn't care about myself. Depression can make you feel like you want to float away into nothingness. I'm a Christian, and while yes, on my stable days, I want to go to heaven, during my deep depressive episodes, I don't care about that. All I want to do is float away into a void of nothingness, just complete darkness. I don't want to be around anyone. I just want to be by myself permanently. And in our darkest moments, depression can feel like wanting to take our own life. I pray that you've never felt this way personally, but if you have, know that there is a way out. There is a light at the end of that tunnel, and you have all of us at the community of the Mental Refuge for support and love. If you have ever felt like any of these descriptions, let me know in the comments below. What does a manic or depressive episode feel like to you? How do you get out of them? I would love to know so that we can help more people together. While you're at it, please consider making a donation through my Patreon page. Like I said earlier, Patreon is a way for you to contribute each month so I can get more videos out to you guys. Starting at just $5 a month, you can make a difference in the life of someone with a mental illness. Check out the link below. Talk to you guys next week. Bye!